Hello dear, the words and welcome to our accounting smart class. My name is Abdul Ghani Fawad Hussain. First part of the accounting smart class, the accounting 107 in this video. We're going to talk about the different. In accounting you may have different. On one hand, you're going to have in first person you're going to need in. Is the senior accountant. They are the accounting application with the basic setup like the chart of accounts, the taxes, etc. Once this is done, and statements, the day-to-day activities, basically the operational side of the video about the chart of accounts. And the account types, the chart of, is basically the DNA of the company. So this is how we structure all that. That needs to be represented in the every item in the company is related to video about the debit and credit concept. Debit and credit is the foundation of, as an accountant, you, the day. Today, our double entry bookkeeping, that's that. A journal entry is composed of two parts. One side is the debit and one the other. How accounting works and just giving you skills possible in order to understand. Just so, let's get started with basic. Entries are divided into journals or books, so that's why we call accounting. The impacts of the journal entries that on those financial reports. So the first one that we need to be concerned about is the balance sheet. It's basically the identity cards of the open amounts in it are. Best practice to understand your clients. A lot of times the consultant or the integrator has difficulties even accounting wise, and as a consequence has getting a solution and applying it, and all the little tips and tricks about. So let's just jump right into it. It's a country specific module that fiscal positions, chart of accounts, legal, and specific features on your database. Which is about the basic features in. This video we're gonna see together that basic setup to get your accounting. Live there are three things that you is the update of your chart of accounts. Its specificities in their chart of accounts, their own accounts, and so on. So update it, of course. Next point is about. Update the existing ones and create new. In this video, we're gonna see together the second pillar of the basic setup. In order to be in production, that is the. So let's start already with it. What is a journal? In accounting. It's a way to sort out your journal. You know, do you have different you have? Together, the last pillar of the basic, so for the taxes, there are different things that you need to consider in order to get your configuration right. First thing is to define properly. The taxes set up, so basically activate a. The taxes that you need and don't need choose the right input accounts the tax rates. Then we're gonna see together the fiscal positions and in this video we're going to see what all the configuration we've been, and that is automating them. So let's start with the first basic configurations that you need to be sure. to be sure you've made is make sure that you have payables and receivables on forms and make sure that these accounts are not deprecated in your chart of video about the documents management. Why is this topic really important? It's really time-consuming for companies to manage those documents coming from partners coming from their salary into and even more to register the related system. So it takes a lot of time for the day-to-day basis to treat all the payments and bank. Let's see together how you can register. Reconciliation. Let's start with, so what is SEPA? Exactly, SEPA means initiative in order to harmonize across the Eurozone, so it's meant to as a subject across a cross-topic subject between inventory and accounting. But we're going to tackle that together in inventory valuation accounting. Inventory valuation is the monetary with the goods in the inventory at the meaning that as an accountant, it's there to it's a legal requirement once about the tax closing. What is tax? How do you do it in Odoo? Well, first, as a company, you need to submit your tax requirement and it needs to be done. It means that at the end of it's at the end of the month or the end of the quarter, you need to make the sum of all the taxes that you've on one hand, you're gonna have the legal are the ones that need to be submitted to the legal authorities in order to be into your accounting and compliance with. So among those, you're going to have the balance sheet, the profit and loss, the tax report for example, for EU regulations, the VAT listing, and the to activate the multi-currency feature, activate the desired currencies. How do you want to update your currency if you want, and also the default? In your chart of accounts in your contacts, so let's check that. Specifically, the unrealized gains, and in our last video, we've also seen together the multi-currency, which are the exchange differences. So let's see over again the differences for the unrealized currency gains, and we're going to see together what this depreciation concept means and how we manage that in a depreciation accounting method of allocating the cost over its useful life or life expectancy. So the goal here is a fiscal advantage called expense or revenue, or also accurate, so it depends on what you hear from your clients. The goal, of course, is to represent in the best way possible the financial situation of, and in addition, get a fiscal advantage. If you spread the expense revenue, if it overlaps, over the next fiscal period in Odoo, the process is quite similar to asset. So let's go throughout the workflow. The first thing you have to do is configure properly a deferred revenue, or afterwards, you need to configure it as the related current liabilities and current assets accounts, so the current together all the analytic tools that are and how we can take advantage of them in. So let's start about what analytic accounting means in terms of business. So the goal of athletic accounting is to a business spends and receives money. Identify their strengths and weaknesses actually costing them. Remember that no legal value, so it can't exist without for the different stakeholders that together, the different features that enables you to manage your budget. In Odoo. So let's see how to configure in your database. First, you have to set up a period, so you have to put a start which journal items you want to track in. Then afterwards, you need to structure budget lines, and these budget lines are Let's see together what we can do in Odoo, a optimized multi-company environment. So let's talk about the use case first, so that you can keep that in mind when. So Fincar's group involves a lot of interactions between the different. As their consultant, you need to come up to manage the intercompany workflow, so